Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, new members of the Coverkillernation. I want to thank Anthony Fantano, aka The Needle Drop. You know him, you love him, for his fantastic promotion of this video. In his most recent video that was shouting out some of the other YouTube album reviewers in this community. I cannot put into words how much of an honest-to-God fantastic thing that is. It's just absolutely breathtaking every single time that it happens. And I have seen that a lot of you have come over because of that video and have opted to subscribe and check me out. So this is my way of a little bit of an introduction to you guys. That way you guys know what I'm all about and get a couple of videos to sort of get your feet wet in Coverkillernation, considering, as Anthony stated, there are a lot of them. There are definitely a lot, more than 600 videos on this channel alone, and whenever I started in 2009, there were more. So let's get into a little bit of history first off. I started this channel, Coverkillernation, in 2010. However, I've been album reviewing since 2009. In fact, it was really meant to be sort of just a joke thing. Coverkillernation was actually meant to be a covers channel where I do vocal covers of other songs. I chose the name Coverkillernation because I felt that I was going to kill them because my vocal skills are amateur at best. However, I tried to upload a few, and I kept on getting denied due to various claims, copyright, blah, 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 whatever it may be, so I opted to shift gears a little bit, and I was originally just going to do album reviews of albums that really, really pissed me off a lot. And then I realized that there weren't, altogether all that many of those, so instead, it just became an album reviewing channel, and I've made a ton of friends because of it. The channel was unfortunately shut down in 2010, around the first week of May, because of copyright problems due to and stemming from the previous attempts to upload videos and things like that. And there was also a couple of other claims. So I reopened Coverkillernation with a fresh persona, fresh idea, fresh take, and this has been nothing but music talk and album reviews ever since. You might like these glasses, you might hate these glasses. These glasses have kind of been a Coverkillernation staple since, I believe, the first part of 2011, so it's definitely become part of the allure. So this is how you're going to see me. I've taken them off on occasion by request, but it's something that rarely happens. So what about some videos for you guys? What are some recommendations from Coverkillernation, the man himself, to you guys, the new subscribers to the Coverkillernation that you guys should probably check out? Well, if you want to know about the early roots about the channel, if you want to know about the earliest video that I ever made, my very first video, there is actually, it still exists on YouTube. It's part of my 1 million view special that I did earlier this year. And I'll post links to each and every one of these videos, by the way, in the description box for you guys to check out. And I do recommend, and I ask you to please check them out, because this is a good way to get your feet wet on me. You know what I mean? And so that was a review of Saint Anger by Metallica. That was my first review ever. I will also post down there in the description box the review revised, which I did as one of the very first videos on this channel, Coverkillernation. Now there are other videos that are really, considered Coverkillernation classics, especially the angry ones. The Morbid Angel, Elid Divinium Insanus one is the one that comes to mind the most, because it is kind of the one that brought a lot of people over, that got some attention on the internet. It was on a couple of different websites and was really featured heavily. It's also the video of mine that has the most views at just under 40,000, so that's a good place to start. Another Metallica video, strangely enough, is my review of Metallica and Lou Reed's song The View. Now, of course, the Lulu video is very good as well, but the View features probably one of my most random commentaries of all time, and it's definitely one that, even as the person who made it, I still go back to it because I still want to know what mindset I was in whenever I made this video, because the idea just came to me in, as a flash, and just happened, and I still can't believe that it happened somewhat. It's crazy. Sometimes. It seems like a lot of my angriest rants and best lines have come from Metallica, even though I respect the band, even though in just a recent video I called them overrated. Speaking of that, I like to play a little bit of devil's advocate. This isn't all just about metal here on this channel, and I do like to play devil's advocate on my own genre. And the examples have been more recent, however, these do exist. I have a video where I as I just mentioned, list 10 of the most overrated metal bands that were formed before the year 2000. This is a video I just posted a couple of days ago, so it is extremely recent. It's very fresh, and I leave that for you in the description box as well. And then I also have a video which is dedicated to 5 reasons why some people don't like heavy metal. This is kind of a back and forth video where I mention these reasons and a little bit of background behind it, and then also kind of try to dispel these reasons a little bit, because some of them are not founded with a lot of a serious thought. You know, it's a lot of things where maybe somebody doesn't like rock music because they think it's too loud. Same thing exists in metal. Some people don't like country music because there's too much of a twang in their voice and it all sounds the same. You know, maybe that's not true for everybody. And so that's another great video because it shows that even though I principally focus on heavy metal, I also like to play devil's advocate a little bit. It's not myself basically masturbating to the metal god at all times. If you don't like foul language, I apologize. Another great video of mine, one that's a little bit more positive, is the review that I did of Opeth's Heritage, and also for Obscura's Omnibium, both from 2011. And those are very positive reviews. It's kind of showing me really being glowing toward the review. And with the in the case of the Opeth album, it was one where I was a little bit conflicted because it was this very, very strange, change of style for the band, but Opeth is also one of my favorite bands. I did a whole entire discography on them. I did a whole entire discography on Megadeth. I did one for the band Death. I have done Pink Floyd. So there have been discographies done as well that have all, linked up to some fantastic reviews and videos overall. Rust in Peace by Megadeth is my #1 album of all time, so I'll leave that review down there also. Just so many different ways to go. And also, I like to also touch base on rock and even sometimes, very, very rarely, on some rap. I was going to review the new Lupe Fiasco, however, I never got there. I just said Lupe by accident, it's Lupe. I just never got around to it, so I apologize to anybody who would maybe be interested in seeing that. But I've reviewed bands such as the Fleet Foxes, Incubus, the new Red Hot Chili Peppers from last year, My Morning Jacket, which is an album that I kind of felt a little meh about, but as I've listened to it, it's grown on me. It's one of those things. I like to talk about various things, and because of that, because I've been listening to a lot more of rock and indie in the past year, maybe year and a half, I have just started a new series entitled Rock City, which is going to be focusing on a lot of more recent rock albums. Might be something that you guys are a little bit more interested in. The first edition of this segment debuted about a week and a half ago, or maybe a week ago, something along those lines, where I reviewed bands such as Band of Horses, Passion Pit, Dave Matthews Band, No Doubt, and Green Day. A little bit more mainstream stuff, I understand. However, it is still music, and I like to review music. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that are waiting for you on this channel. There are lists, there are discographies, there are discussions. I just had a discussion on which decade was better, the 90s or the 2000s. Really, the best advice that I can give all of you, aside from checking out the videos that I just mentioned, is to jump right in and really just check out whatever it is that really strikes your fancy. Whatever it is that catches your eye and really makes you interested on the inside. That curiosity, definitely don't be, afraid that curiosity will kill the cat, because if anything, the curiosity is only going to get curiouser once you hear the words that come out of my mouth, because it's just ridiculous. Overall, thank you once again to Anthony Fantano for his wonderful promotion of this video, and thank you to all of you for coming and becoming part of the Coverkillernation as well as Needle Droplets. I appreciate you being over here so very much, and I certainly hope that I will be able to get to know some of you even better in the future through comments. And I also have a Facebook page, Coverkillernation. I'll leave the link down there too. There's just going to be links everywhere, so don't hesitate, don't be shy. And we will hopefully see you guys around. Stay tuned tomorrow or the next day for another new album review, and you'll kind of get into the flow and notice that I post quite a bit. I'll talk to you later. Thanks again, and welcome. Take care.